This week, I'm going to show you my scheduling system that I have built into my website. So last week, if you did not watch it, you should watch the video. There's a little click thing up in the corner here. But I showed you how I set up an ordering system on my website. And what I didn't show you is how that integrates with a scheduling system that I have. Now, I'll say this, I know that there's easier ways to do this. There's other services out there. So this is just what works for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for everybody, but I at least wanted to share what I do, and maybe it'll help some of you. With that said, let's go ahead and show you the back end. So I use a system called Acuity Scheduling, okay? I know some of you are familiar with it. The reason I picked Acuity is because I looked at a bunch of different scheduling platforms, and Acuity is just the one that came through with all the different things that I needed, at least for the amount of research that I put into it. Let's be honest, I didn't spend a ton of time on it, but Acuity had all the needs that I wanted met. So there isn't a lot the thing is, there isn't a lot that I can show you that relates to how I have it built into my form. But I just kind of wanted to briefly show you what the back end of Acuity looks like so that you can kind of decide for yourself whether or not it would be a good option for you, okay? So before we get started, we're going to go back to my website. We're going to put a fake order in, and I'm going to show you what the client actually sees, Rich Baum, when they go to my website, or when they go to the order form. Now, they go through here, they select all their standard things, whatever they want. Blue Sky replacement. Next, they go down here, they agree to the terms. Now they hit submit, and it brings them to the scheduler. And from here, it's going to show them all my availability. Friday is the only day I'm open this week, so they can select one of those things. I can do Thursday 8 or Saturday at 8 as well, but pretty much this is all they have available. They can go to the next week if they want, and essentially this is just all the time slots that I have set up. And when we go into the back end, I'll show you how I have all these scheduled. So let's say Rich wants to schedule next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Because maybe he wants to end up doing Twilight. He's going to put his information in here, blah, 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 blah. Property address, we're going to say 123 Main Street. Let's say Rich moved to my neck of the woods. So you can see, I mentioned last week in the last form in the address section, I don't have them populated all because they have to select it here. And I have an option to select who's going to be present at the home, agent, seller, or nobody. We'll say seller will be there. I make a vlog, obviously, so I have an option for them to say yes or no, whether or not I can film. Any notes they have for me, there is a dog that will be kenneled. Okay, and then they can complete appointments, and that is it. It's going to send them a confirmation. It's going to send me a confirmation. In that confirmation, they're going to have an option to reschedule or cancel the appointment if they need to, or make any changes they needed to the appointment. It's pretty much that easy. So with that said, we're going to go into the back end of the ordering system. I'm going to show you how it all works. So I actually have 5 calendars set up, but I'm only going to show you 2 of them because the other calendars belong to other people, and you can see some of their personal details, what those appointments are. So I'm not going to show you those. I'm just going to show you the 2 calendars I have set up for myself. 2 of the 3 calendars I have set up for myself, because that's all that's really relevant right now. So when you first log in, here's all the different sections you have. You've got the appointment section. This shows you kind of an overview of your calendar. You can look at a weekly view, you can look at a monthly view, and just kind of see what you have scheduled. Everything in orange is a photo shoot that's scheduled through my website. If there's other things in here, these are shoots or other meetings that I put in here manually that I didn't want them to submit an order form for one reason or another. So that's that. I can run some reports. I literally clicked on this maybe twice. This is the second time. I guess this could be handy because it'll show you like how many hours you're actually getting scheduled for things, but I don't ever use that. You can import data, general stuff. you've got the client scheduling page. Now this is where you can get the actual direct links to individual calendars if you need to, whether you need to send them to the people or if you want to get the direct calendar links to embed into your forms. Okay, so I have several different calendars in there. I can get the direct link to those. So if I want to go to this one, it's going to be a different link. You can get an embed code here. You can get a booking button right there. You can see what it looks like preview. You can do all kinds of things here. You can customize your appearance. I keep mine pretty minimal. I've only changed the color, I believe. Let's see here. I've got, I show them a daily view versus a monthly view. You can do some advanced coding if you have the higher paid account, which I don't. And then the business setting. This is where I'm going to spend the majority of my time when I want to make some changes. Okay, so when I come into here, I can see the different calendars I have set up, and I can go in here and I can get calendar settings. Well, no, we won't look at this one. We'll look at mine. You've got calendar settings. I can tell them which email address I want it sent to. I can send it to multiple email addresses if I want to. I can select the location if I need to. All that other stuff. I can get the direct scheduling link once again. And then if I click on this down arrow here, I can see all my availability and time limits. So this is where I can set my regular schedule. I have three windows where I will book appointments during, and then I leave myself a 2-hour break in between these, or an hour or 2 hours. So Mondays I'm available 7 to 10, 12 to 2, and 3 to 8. And that's pretty much actually the same thing throughout the majority of the rest of the week. So this will be my default calendar. I don't work on Sundays. And down here, well, actually, before I go down there, now I can set scheduling limits. So I can say I won't allow people to schedule more than 2 hours in advance or more than a year in the future. They can book one appointment, because if you can set multiple appointments, you don't want that. I don't allow them to schedule 2 hours in advance. I will accept a number of maximum of four appointments a day, and you can set this to be whatever you want. This is just what I've chosen to do with mine. And then let's say next Wednesday you have something you need to do, so you can block off just that individual day, which in fact I need to do that. Anyway, you get my point. This is pretty much how you set the details of how you want people to schedule you. Now you've got different appointment types. Now I've got these are the different, like if I have a shoot in the metro, which is about an hour north of me, that's one appointment type. If I have a shoot around here, that's another appointment type. If my second photographer is going out, that's another appointment type. And all of mine just happen to coincide with the different calendars that I have set up. You can do add-ons and coupons. I don't mess with those at all, ever. Intake form questions. Now this is going to be what they see when they go to schedule a time with you. So when they go in here, and I'll show you what it looks like. So this is pretty much what the order form looks like when you guys, when I was in here earlier. This is what this all looks like on the back end. And you can customize this however you need to, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't ever mess with this packages, gift certificates, and subscriptions section. Manage users. No, I don't really do this either. These are the two people that shoot with me, and they have their own thing. You can do integration here. It's pretty self-explanatory. Sync with other calendars. This is where you will sync it with your actual iCloud or your iCal or your Google Calendar or whatever other calendar system you have set up. I happen to have two calendar systems, Google Calendar and iCloud. So I add an appointment in my phone on my calendar, then it's going to block that time off here based on how I have it set up to sync here. Payment settings. This is if you accept payments within your scheduler. I do not. And email settings. This is where you want emails to go, and as well as or how you want emails to appear. And you can set reminders in here. This is what your reminder emails are going to look like. Cancellation emails. You can customize all that stuff in here. This is what they pretty much look like. So again, you guys, I know there wasn't a lot to show you on this one. I just kind of wanted to show you a brief how the ordering system and the scheduling system integrates. And then I wanted to show you just a little bit of the back end of the ordering or the scheduling system. So I actually hired a programmer to integrate the two a little bit better without having to pay for the higher end version of Acuity, because it's significantly more expensive. And I'll probably go back to ordering it at some point. I'm just, I just haven't gotten around to it. But I hired him to essentially combine the two, so in a format that I want to be able to easily view things. So what happens is a client orders a photo shoot through my website, brings them to it brings all that information into Acuity, and then essentially what happens is I get one email showing me all the information with the time, the cost, and all that other stuff, and I have it formatted the way I want it to look. So you can go that far if you want to. I just found it to be helpful for my individual needs. So again, you guys, if you want to check out Acuity, click on the link below in the description. This is an affiliate link, so just full disclosure, if you want to help support the channel. Let me know if you have any questions on this. I have a good enough understanding of Acuity on how it relates to what we want to do, so I could answer any questions, but I would suggest just going in there and giving it a try for a few days. Maybe find a client that you work with that you trust that would be willing to do a few test schedules with you and see if this is a good fit for your business. In the meantime, you guys, thanks for watching this video and the previous video if you had already. If you have not, you can click on the video and the little bubble that's popping up to the side of me, one of these sides of me, and watch that video. It's going to show you how all of this integrates together. So you guys, thanks again for watching. See you next week with a brand new video.